For every dollar put into the system, $3 is spent. The CBO says that the current bill that has been drafted is not financially executable. That is not revenue neutral. Yet you keep on saying that it is. There is no bill, there is no specifics, but you keep on telling us specifics. When will we see the specifics? Number two, Mr. Scott, very specific. I want a yes or no answer. When you say that you'll take the public option, are you saying that you will eliminate the current insurance programs available to congressmen and senators and take the final public option that is made available to regular citizens? Yes or no? Correct. Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, all underfunded. Social Security has been borrowed from. What preventions are you going to put in to ensure that that does not take place with the funding for this bill? To ensure that you do not borrow from this bill. I don't care what Bush did, what Reagan did, what Ford did, what Lincoln did. I don't need a history lesson. I want to know what you were going to do. You voted for two bills that increased spending by $700 billion in the bailout banks. You voted for them. So you're sitting here telling me that, oh, I'm fighting, I don't want to borrow this money, but you borrowed it. My last thing is that we're in a $9 trillion deficit. We're adding $2 trillion to it that was just added that said, your estimates are wrong by $2 trillion. When are you going to cut, where are you going to cut spending? Are you going to raise my taxes? I make $60,000 a year, except I got laid off. There's so many people unemployed right now, they're on public doles. You guys can't, you don't have solutions. You're not really presenting real solutions. Thank you. Exercise video for the wellness. Yeah. Thank you.
So we got yes or no answer. Yes or no answer.
Yes.
Yes. You said yes. Which one?
Will I take the public option? Yes.
All right.
I would just say in response to the details question, I have all the details right here, and you can download them all from any of the committee sites as well as the amendments. So if you'd like to see the details.
It's not a final bill. I have the details. I've read HR 3200.
Well, when they vote on the bill, you can read it yourself. So we're happy about that.
The last time you finished one, 5 hours later you voted on it.
Before we go any further, let's keep in mind that we have to limit the questions to 2 minutes. So when your time expires, please give our panelists a chance to answer, and then we can move forward to the next question. Because we only have a little while left. We want to get as many questions in. And please ask only one question. Thank you very much.
The thing is, they're taking up time with this long answer.
We're going to try to get to everyone. And I'm sure our panelists will consider that when they're answering a question from this point on. But if we can limit it to one question, we can get in as many questions as we possibly can. That being said, next question. Thank you very much.
If reform means to make better, this is certainly an effort worth undertaking. However, there are a lot of things that are adding to the cost of this program which are not being addressed by the Congress. You raised one, and the President has said that will not be part of the consideration of the bill, and it's enormous cost. Another is the cost of drugs. They are less expensive in Canada than they are in this country. That's ridiculous. Actually, Congress has passed an amendment to one of the bills that extends the life of their patent. That is ridiculous. Also, there's a provision in the bill, as I understand it, which would allow Congress or allow the government to negotiate the cost of drugs. Where did that come from that you have to negotiate with permission of Congress? Why haven't they been doing it in the past? Does this also mean that private industry has got to go to the Congress to get permission? Medicare's reimbursement schedule is less than is being paid by the rest of the people. It is less than significant as illustrated by your $250 billion outlay for the doctors. That cost is carried to the private economy outside of government. And you people are beating up on the insurance industry by them being responsible for the inflation. Congress is responsible for that. You're talking about a smaller copay, and that would be a wonderful thing. But it adds to this cost we're talking about. You're talking about unlimited benefits, which adds to the cost side. There has got to be an end to giving away. There's an old statement that says if you have the power to give, you have the power to take. And what happens? You tax us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me just respond very, very quick, and I'll be very brief, and I apologize for putting my other brief here. One is we recognize everything that you're saying about the high cost of drugs, but end of the bill, the pharmaceutical companies will give a 50% discount immediately on drugs. They also are contributing to make sure we close that donut hole over a period of time. It's going to take time to do it, but immediately we will start. It will close by $500 immediately, and then it will add a 50% discount on the drugs that we have. So we are addressing it in that manner as well.
And I was just going to add very briefly that we fought very hard to get the secretarial negotiating authority in the House Energy and Commerce bill. That is not something they're considering in the Senate. We will fight very hard to get that in the final bill. We feel very strongly that will bring down costs for not just Medicare, for all consumers, because many times Medicare leads the way for drugs. In addition, we're fighting very hard on biologic drugs. Many consumers that have rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, other issues, get their patents extended, as you mentioned, for these drugs that can cost people up to $100,000 a year. Many people don't take these drugs because they simply can't afford them, and they either die or they choose not to take these drugs. And so we're fighting very hard, sometimes just against the prescription drug manufacturers. We have many other allies on these issues, and we're working very hard on these issues on behalf of consumers.
And I wanted to add also very quickly on the insurance side. These are very important in the bill, which will help to bring down cost and expense service will be. One, under this bill, insurance companies will no longer be able to deny you coverage of your insurance for a pre-existing condition. Secondly, they will not be able to drop your insurance or raise your premium so high that you have to drop your insurance time you get sick. There are practices in insurance companies, not all of them, but in some insurance companies where some of the employees and executives in insurance companies are rewarded for that kind of behavior so they don't have to pay. And finally, I want you to know this about your congressman, that I wrote the law that gives women who've had breast cancer surgery the right to determine their length of stay in the hospital and the level of medical treatment they receive rather than the insurance companies and HMO. Back then, they were calling drive-by mastectomies because in 24 hours or 40 hours, they were putting women out. But I took on the insurance industry as a state senator, and we got that down now, and now women are being able, and doctors making that decision, and we took that out of the hands of insurance companies.
Thank you, Congressman.
Yes. I'd like to thank you for being here. Small business owner, very concerned about what our insurance costs are. 18% of the people I understand in the state are without insurance. That's terrible. But why are we not addressing how to fix that issue instead of taking everything away? What has government ever touched from privatization that's not cost more? You've always underestimated your costs. There's never once that these figures, we can't count on these figures.